of those days. All right, let's begin. So thank you everyone in the live. Thank you everyone watching the recording. Today's practice, as I mentioned, we are going to be practicing coming back to our body to feel what is there within us to be felt. And it's a simple practice, and we're not going to be trying to dig anything up today. It is about what's already there, what's there to be felt, and learning how we can drop into the spaces to feel it more deeply, and how we can also navigate our way around our body or our environment to make some space and to have a breather. This is a really important practice to me because I've been conditioned so much to distract from the sensations within me, to pull myself away from this lived experience. And I wonder if anyone can relate to that as well. And I mentioned on a post on my Instagram recently that this practice that I'm about to share, I'm going to be doing it very simply, was one that made me realize that I've never actually spent time with my body deeply up until that point with what wanted to be seen and felt in that moment. And it brought up a lot for me. So the thing that I didn't have at the time when I started practicing this was the guidance to move my awareness around my body and my space if I needed a break. So it felt like I was just in that space and I felt a bit trapped. But since then, I've gone on to adapt the practice to be able to breathe and to flow and to move with what I have capacity for in this moment. All right. So let us land even more deeply. First of all, an agreement, an internal agreement of being here, of choosing to be here in this moment, and feel how empowering that is that you chose to be here. And so, with anything that arises, say to yourself, I'm going to stay. I'm going to stay to feel. I'm going to stay to be curious. I have choices to move my body, to open my eyes, to journal, to take a drink, to go to the toilet. You still have choice to do what you want. And that can help as well in the practices, just to know you don't have to stay completely still and rigid to be in a state of meditation or focus or practice. Yeah, this is the practice, really, just coming back again and again. So start to notice your environment. Let your eyes wander around your room. And the reason we do this first is to allow our nervous system to acknowledge that there's safety in the space. Now, there's some things that might trigger us, and we can acknowledge that. And then we go a layer deeper and say, is my body safe in this moment to go inwards, to feel what is there to be felt? And it might be a no for whatever reason. And if that is a no, that you can't go on with this practice to go inwards, listen to that. There's no force. This is a recording. So this is recorded, so you can come back to it whenever you want. If it's kind of like, oh, that's annoying, then see what annoying feels like. Okay, there's a sound outside, and where do I feel that inside my body? So you use it as your practice, basically. So we're letting our eyes wander around, and this isn't to scan or detect anything. It is an offering to our sense of sight to look wherever it wants to go. And it might be today that your eyes simply close and you're ready to drop inwards. Sense around the forehead and the eyes and the cheeks, deep into the eye socket, to guide your breath to this space, to feel deeply this space. And then with the exhale, to notice if there is room for a softness for your eyes to close. guiding our awareness within our body and coming to our sense of hearing. Around you, there are vibrations feeding into your body, giving you information. Guide yourself as far away from your physical body as you can to hear the sound the furthest away from you. The vibrations moving from this place in your environment into your body. And it has this relationship with your body where it creates an experience. You might notice the sound helps you to relax, to soften, or in some way it might cause you to contract. Notice how it's not labeled as good or bad, it just is. And there you have a choice. Imagine the sound outside your room, your space, is keeping you contracted, and all you have to do is close the window. So you get a choice there. If you don't have that choice to close a window, then you have a choice to stay and have it as part of the practice. Take a deep breath and hear the sound of your breath. Take it slow here to notice the quality of your breath, the sounds when you inhale, and the sound when you exhale, the difference in the sound. And each inhale creates more space within you as you can consciously open your body to receive the breath. You might notice your arms wanting to stretch out or your spine wanting to twist to get into areas that maybe you haven't been reached today. Oh. And we come to notice the quality of our body right now. The breath allows us to feel more deeply where there might be contractions. And it's not that we're trying to remove this tension or to fix it in any way. The main practice is to feel that it's there and welcome the breath and trust the unraveling in that moment. And this practice goes on with all relationships, whether it's our body or others, the world around us. Noticing the power of our loving awareness on situations beyond what the mind tries to do. Now, on a personal level, with what is happening in your world in this moment, is there anything in your life that is causing you a state of imbalance? Whether it is within a thought loop, decision making, relationship, a project, something that's happening globally. Is there anything that's really standing out as I ask that question that wants to come to the practice today? And you don't have to dig too deep. This is more about feeling what is present right now. What is present within you? What situation wants to come and sit? So this is a beautiful time. If there's something that you've been dismissing for a while, or there's a question that you like an answer to, or you'd like some more clarity, this practice is going to help us to bring some space, almost like a hollowness, so that we can receive guidance from within. So we can listen to what is already there within us. And then from that point, we can allow our love and our curiosity to flow into this fresh space. And the guidance may seem new. It might seem odd sometimes. It might not seem to match. So that's where we stay. We listen, we read between the lines, and we let it sit with us, not to have the answer in that moment, but to let it be part of the journey, one of the pieces of the puzzle that helps us create a bigger picture. So we've used the mind to draw in the situation. Now we feel it. So every thought, every idea, every belief, everything we're going through is held as a sensation somewhere. As I mentioned in the beginning, for many of us, our culture has guided us out of our body to numb feelings, to distract, to deny. So, here with the next inhale, say yes to feeling with curiosity. If the feeling becomes too intense, and you might notice this in sensation, or you might notice it in thoughts, or just a fidgeting, you become aware that there's a discomfort. In that noticing, you might be able to stay, or it might be better for you to move, or to breathe deeply, or to journal any of these thoughts that are really wanting to be heard. But primarily, I welcome you to stay with the feeling as long as you feel comfortable. And sometimes that means meeting our boundaries and staying just a little bit longer, because there is the magic. So feel your body right now. Where is the place inside of you that feels the most alive? So I'm using words. I'm trying not to use any to manipulate your experience. But there is a part inside of you right now that feels the most alive, that is almost pulling you. And so it might be, to describe in this human-made language, it might feel like a twisting or a vibration or a heat. It might feel like a heaviness, or maybe even an openness, an expansiveness, maybe a dullness or an emptiness. But there is a part of you that feels alive in whichever way it is manifested in sensation. And I welcome you to go there. You don't have to dive straight into the center of it. At first, just sit on the outer edges to notice. So what I'm visualizing, I'm a very visual person, I can see almost like a globe of light around this space. And what I'm doing is sitting on the outer edges of this globe, and I'm just noticing. And in the noticing, I'm feeling what is within that globe. What is the feeling? And I don't need words within my own body, because I communicate through sensations. So you dive deeper, feel, notice any shifts in sensation as you place your loving awareness. And you can go around the globe with your awareness if that's how you're seeing it or feeling it. And let's take some time to feel that sensation before we go deeper into the guidance. Choosing to stay to feel. This is the only doing, is bringing your awareness back to feel, to breathe, to notice. Now, commonly, the sensation will move with your presence. Allow the globe, if that's what you can see, if it's like me, allow it to dissolve so that that energy can move wherever it wants to move, and follow it. follow the energy through your body. It might help to gently stroke your hands to follow so that you can keep your awareness placed on that space. And over time, you won't need your hand. You'll be able to follow and your focus will stay strong. Where is it now? This next part is about offering your loving awareness. To say in words would be, I love you. And with you, I feel you. You're giving these comforting words to your body. And these words have a sensation and a quality. Like I mentioned, we don't have to talk in words to our body. It helps us to get through the mind first. So then once you feel your body is responding to these words, I'm here. You don't need to go away. You don't need to be fixed. I see you. You breathe with the sensation and you allow your body to communicate with you. And just notice that difference as we get through the layer of the mind and we choose to stay with what is. And this is the practice to follow the energy around. And we don't have too long here today, but the next phase of this would be to see if there's anything that wants to be communicated from this space within you. And your body can communicate in different ways. It's just the way that you're going to receive. So it might be deeply sensational. It might be a vision comes through, or words, or a sound, or a smell. It can communicate through any of the senses that are available. And none of the experiences that you have are separate from this sensation, even if it seems like it. It's just like a dream. Our dreams communicate in strange ways sometimes, but it's the emotion, the message that's trying to come through. Continue to cultivate this love that is ever expanding, that is infinite, that is unwavering, that is unbiased, and is there. It's always been there. Let it surround your body. Let it hold this space. And once again, we are going to notice if it has moved, if it has shifted in the sensation. And an inner appreciation for how your loving awareness can shift, can help to communicate with what is already there. Now, into your body more deeply so we can see what this energy is asking for. And this is where we practice and we see. So it might be today a deep sound to meet this place is what your body needs. So I'm going to give 3 ideas and try each one and see which one feels most authentic to you. And it might be none of them. You might find your own thing. So let's just start by making a sound, a humming sound into that space in the body. I'm actually going to mute myself so I don't distract you. Make the sound 3 times, so 3 breaths. And pausing after that practice to see if there has been an outlet if this energy wants to be expressed instead of held. And it might not want to, it might want to stay as well. So the next practice, I'm actually just going to do two. The next practice is to move. So find the space, and on the inhale, I want you to squeeze the space as hard as you can. So you might want to crunch over. If it's in the front, if it's in the back, you might want to bring the shoulder blades together as you inhale. If it's the hands, you're squeezing, or the toes or the jaw. And on the inhale, you contract. And then on the exhale, you allow that softness to come. So we'll do that 3 times to breathe in, to contract and squeeze and squeeze and squeeze. And exhale the opposite. So opening in the opposite way from which you've contracted. And again, inhale to squeeze. And hold the breath. So you're breathing in, squeezing, and then as you're squeezing and clenching, hold that inhale breath before you finally exhale. And then again, there's a natural pause before the next breath. Let's try that one more time. Rest here for a moment. And in the present, say thank you to your body. And thank you to this part of you that is observing and doing this practice. All the layers of you are coming together to say yes to this. And this is the wholeness in the practice, and not to rush, but to remember ourselves as beings that are led throughout our own lifetime and our ancestral line and impacted by our environment and the collective. But there is a space where there is clarity, where there is a light, and it's beyond the noise. And that's what we're moving to. So the more you do this practice, the easier it is to get to that place of spaciousness, of almost like nothingness. It feels like to me, just to put words to it, a light, a clarity, a nothingness and everythingness. So in this space made, you've done incredible work with that. Thank you for doing the practice. Stay within yourself. In the space made, so this is actually part of the practice of release, what we've just done. You might have been given insights on the situation or relationship or whatever it was that you brought in, of where there can be an unraveling and an unhooking, or space to be made, or boundaries to be changed. Whether the boundaries need to be tighter, or there can be more of an expansion with what you allow in and out. Just noticing. And then take some time to see what comes through with that. And we can write it down, we can draw it, we can stay and be with it. We can trust that it will become clearer as we move through our days. There'll be a voice or a feeling that says no. You'll feel your no to a situation where it's like, no. And there's a protection of your energy field, of your being, where you don't allow something in that you've usually let in, or you see something within the dynamics of a relationship that you're in, something shifts. So let's take a deep, deep, deep breath in. Deep breath in, full body breath. Let your arms reach out as though you're pulling in what it is that you're calling in. So what is it that you want to call in, that you want to welcome into your life? It doesn't matter if you believe that it can or it can't come for whatever reason. Just call it in. What is it that you want to call in? It could be something very specific, something material. It could be a quality and energy inside of you, an insight. Take a deep breath in, reach your arms out. And as you exhale, pull it in and wrap it around you, and let your head bow down and hold yourself and remind yourself that you can call what you need in this moment, that you can trust that it will come to you to serve your heart path. Gently let the arms fall to your thighs or down your side, and notice your spine lengthen as you step into this knowing of your power, of what you can create, what you are capable of in this world. It is all there. And it might be, for some people, a huge expression, a huge manifestation. And for others, it's a more subtle magic that is not noticed from the inside. And so it's a bit of both. But the way that it manifests will look different for everybody. And just feel yourself become familiar with that part of you that can choose, that can create, that can receive clarity from going inwards instead of searching outside of you. And let some gentle movement come to your body. Maybe rotation of the hips, of the neck. And this final part is where you can continue the integration or the receiving of the messages within you. If you're somebody who journals or moves your body, we'll move our body in some way. But if you feel like you want to express through your body, or you feel like you want to sing, or maybe you drum or play music or draw, just take this time to let your body express in its own unique way without needing an outcome. It doesn't need to be approved of. It's just a expression from what we have just done together. And in that time with yourself, I'm going to share with you the cards that I pulled that have guided this practice. It was always my intention to do the practice to feel the sensations in the body today, to be with what is. And this is the kind of start of a practice that we can go into much deeper with using our hand as a tool to feel the energy within us. And yeah, it's a much deeper practice. But first, I want us to get to be with the sensations within us just by noticing. And you'll feel then when we bring our hand into this practice, the difference and how it can really strengthen our focus and unravel the tension within us. So, all right, I picked out today, this is a shaman's dream deck. I use this one for my dream work. Hollow Bones Teachability. Let me see if we can see this. Why is my light so bright? Basically, it is a skull at the top and a bone here, feathers. And it says teachability. And this card is a reminder of when we are trying to learn or remember the wisdom that is within us, we need space to be able to listen, because the messages are very subtle and it can communicate with us in different ways, like I mentioned during the practice. So we have to find the space and the stillness to be able to notice that something different is coming through. Because every time we have a thought, every time we receive information from the outside world, and it moves within our brain and our thoughts, it affects our bodies, and it can drown out these more subtler messages from our inner wisdom. So it's saying, can you make time for yourself each day with a deep trust and a deep love to make the space to find a stillness? So usually what it takes is an expression first, some movements to shift the energy up, and then a stillness to feel. That's really helpful for me, because sometimes it can be you sit down and then the sound is so loud in the mind, and that might be just it for the practice, to notice the thoughts, to be with it. But a quick pathway through to clear up some space is to do some movement, whether it's breath work, whether it's shaking, going for a run, some movement that just gets the blood pumping and shifts out, cleans out all the cobwebs, and then a stillness. In that stillness, we listen. You can do the practice that we just did to feel and let go of the practice and listen. And it is a practice. It takes time to be able to get to that. But if you can just dedicate 15 minutes of your day to doing this, and let's see what happens with that. Okay, the next card that I got from my Mary Magdalene deck was Love Only Ever Expands. Like, these cards are so beautiful and just such beautiful reminders that the heart, the love is infinite, that it continues to expand if we give it the space to move in there. So the space created, like we're talking about in this card, allows for that channel of love to flow through. And this is where we get these insights and these downloads, so to speak, of the direction to go in. And it might seem completely different than what we'd ever thought that it would be, because we've been brought up in this world, telling us how we should be. And then finally, I love this card, the Priestess. So all about the wisdom is within, dropping inwards, dropping into your practices, the ones that find the stillness. I absolutely love that card. It's very much related to, for me, it's related to my ancestors. It came up a lot after my brother died. Every time I would sit on a night with him in mind, this card would come up. And it was just that reminder of not to distract, to stay in my body, that everything is already there. And it might not make sense, but stay in that space. So they're really beautiful cards, I feel. And it's this nice energy as well, building up to the blue moon that is happening on Sunday. Because this blue moon is about staying with the things that we might have missed the first time round. We might have missed the message or the wisdom. Things that we kind of know that we are not serving us, or things that we haven't said yes to that was available, that is an option for us, an opportunity. And so the blue moon just gives us that second chance if we make space for it. And we are doing a blue moon practice on Sunday. I know some of you are already signed up for that. There's still tickets there. We have a small group with it. So if you would want to join, you can find the link in my Instagram bio. It's with me and my sister, Sean. She is wonderful. I absolutely love her insights. So yeah, you're welcome to join. And now what we will do is go into our private space to see if there's anything that wants to come through today, with everything that we've shared. And everyone watching the recording, thank you so much for being here. And if you would like to share something's come through, just send me a message. And then, yeah, I'll be here to listen to it, hold space for you if anything comes up. And I hope that you will join again, because I really want to go deeper into this energy practice that I'm starting to share here right now. And I just need to get the feedback to see where we're at with it, to see how fast-paced we can move with the practice to go deeper into it. I just said the same thing 3 times, but in a different way. Sorry about that. Okay, so I'm going to end the recording. Everyone watching the recording, please take some time to ground down. So you might just find some stillness, movement, take your shoes off, go outside, take a drink, ground, integrate the practice. And thank you so much. Right, let's go into a private space now.